Hi guys, we are from Group 9B and our topic is on substantive test. In our presentation, we'll be going through RPO's background, key auditing concept, generalized audit software, key assertion at risk, and lastly, substantive test. I'm Amanda and I'll be going through the background of RPO. RPO is a printing service provider that caters to printing from advertising materials, magazines, to books. It does print on demand basis, which is printing the exact quantities ordered rather than by estimation to avoid printing too many or too little. This method helps to prevent wastage of resources. RPO purchases its inventory necessities such as paper, ink, and binding materials from two diverse sources, namely Australia and Asia. The accounts payable clerk records the arrival inventory value and its quantity upon its arrival into the AP system. RPO has a digital library, storing books in digital format, where publisher can email in PDF format to store these books. They can place orders to be printed, and once confirmed, credit records checks will be done before processing the orders through. By enabling the direct download of ebooks in RPO's website, it helps increase its revenue. In addition, procurement of medical books were highly profitable and is commonly used in universities worldwide. Appointment of the new CEO established a new internal audit department, and investment in new IT system was done. This would fully computerize and integrate all the existing accounting processes across the organization, including integration into the Jiau system. Some changes implemented after the board meeting were that raw materials will now adopt the FIFO method, allowance for inventory obsolescence that is now being written back, revenue of ebooks would now be recognized in accordance with the stage of completion of each transaction, and depreciation of straight-line method initial useful life of printing presses has now been stretched to 30 years.
Hello, I'm Joucelind and I will go through about the auditing concept. There are 4 auditing concepts that are related to our case study. The audit concepts are professional judgment, skepticism, relationship between maturity and audit risk, and analytical procedures. Professional judgment is a key skill in preparing and auditing the financial statement, also a practice of relevant training, knowledge, and experience within the auditing, accounting, and ethical standard to make informed decisions that are appropriate. The new CEO has displayed his professional judgments by introducing the new IT system which changed the way companies prepare for audit. Changes such as the allowance for obsolescence of inventory to be written back, the raw material to be valued on FIFO basis, and the review of the ebook publication changed its method to account for revenue. Professional skepticism is an attitude that includes a questioning mind, being alert to conditions which may solve possible misstatement due to error of thought, and a critical assessment of audit. The IT manager has displayed his professional skepticism by doing a preliminary test when the new IT system installed. The result shows that some transactions were not allocated correctly and a software patch had to be written to fix the problem. Relationship between maturity and audit risk is an inverse relationship between maturity and audit risk when determining the nature, timing, and extent of audit procedures. The IT manager identified error on the transactions that will result in maturity. As maturity is an audit concept that relates to the transaction, so in this case, the company maturity level will be high and the audit risk will be low. Analytical procedures is the audit process which help auditors to understand their client business, change in the business, and to identify whether have potential risk areas to plan other audit procedures. With the company change their way to prepare for audit, they need to perform an analytical procedures to choose the correct audit procedures that can lower the audit risk.
Generalized audit software aids by allowing the auditors to access clients' records electronically and perform audit procedures directly through the software instead of manually. Adequate samples are referenced in the process. Time frames determined with high rates of cutoff are tested instead of being specified with a fixed number of samples before and after year-end. Auditors examine the credit notes issued after year-end and determine if any sales made before then are returned to the company subsequent to year-end. This holds a significant impact on sales recognized before year-end. Generalized audit software gives a comprehensive analysis of transactional data, identify relationships, patterns, and anomalies from data. Therefore, it comes in handy when assessing credit notes or other data. The diagram above shows the steps taken by generalized audit software. Firstly, they extract inventory items for auditors' test counts, determine items to be calculated from inventory files. Then, they test the mathematical accuracy by multiplying the inventory quantity by cost per unit to verify total cost. Next, it compares test counts to clients' counts and inventory records. Finally, samples of items are extracted for which the date of the purchase is the date of the count for further audit. Cut-off errors will usually arise when companies recognize revenue based on the data on which the sales invoices are generated rather than the date where risks and rewards are transferred to the buyers. In order to perform a robust sales cut-off test, auditors need to understand and consider the specific cut-off errors risk of each engagement. With general audit software, RPL can conveniently access customers' information and easily track the status of purchased goods by customers. Therefore, RPL will save the hassle of referring to different sets of records from various customers before achieving their rules of stocks having to be sent out of warehouse before recording. Furthermore, RPL can simply switch the closing dates to 27 instead of 30th with some simple settings for the month of June. With that, RPL do not have to refer to all months manually when tallying. This would be less time consuming and allowing employees to work more efficiently and effectively.
Hi guys, I'm Tasmay and I'll be talking about the key assertions at risk for deferred ebook storage revenue and medical book copyright. For deferred ebook storage revenue, the key assertions at risk are existence and valuation and allocation. For existence, the objective of audit procedure is to ensure it is a valid obligation at the balance date, as there is a risk of missing documents that supports the account. For valuation and allocation, the objective of audit procedure is to ensure that the accrued revenue in the statement of financial position is stated at the correct amount, as there is a risk that the amount stated is recorded wrongly. For medical book copyright, the key assertions at risk are existence, rights and obligations, and valuation and allocation. For existence, the objective of audit procedure is to ensure that the copyright in the statement of financial position exists at the balance date, as there is a risk of missing documents that supports the account. For rights and obligations, the objective of audit procedure is to ensure RPL has ownership rights to the copyright, as there is a risk that the copyright may not be owned or controlled by RPL. For valuation and allocation, the objective of audit procedure is to ensure that the medical book copyright is valued properly according to accounting standards, as there is a risk that the amount is valued inaccurately. So how should we design an appropriate substantive test of details? Let's see. For assertion risk of existence on deferred ebook storage revenue, external confirmation procedures can be conducted by obtaining confirmation from creditors whether the transaction did take place. Inspection of supporting documents will be carried out by vouching entries of ebook storage revenue account to respective invoices. For assertion risk of valuation and allocation on deferred ebook storage revenue, external confirmation procedures can be conducted through confirmation with creditors to obtain evidence to check if the amount matches the respective entries in deferred ebook storage revenue account and whether creditor agrees with the amount. Cases of no response from creditors will be followed up with second requests and examinations of invoices for proof of sale. Any disagreements with amount mentioned will also be followed up with examination of evidence of invoices. Requesting and examining from bank confirmation can help in ensuring the amount received matches the amount recorded in the account. For assertion risk of existence on medical book copyright, evidence can be obtained through external confirmation procedures to check if the entry exists in the statement of financial position at the balance date. This can be verified through confirmation with top management of Medical Books Limited. For assertion risk of rights and obligations on medical book copyright, external confirmation procedures can be conducted with MBL top management whether the legal ownership belongs to RPL and by vouching to legal title documents. For assertion risk of valuation and allocation, if they are out of auditors' expertise, experts can be hired to recalculate copyright value with consideration of impairment loss and obsolescence. Vouching can be conducted by inspecting supporting documents like copyright ownership license for any changes in valuation during the period.
Lastly, clerical accuracy of the copyright can be tested to ensure an accurate amount has been recorded. So that's the end of our video presentation. Thank you for your time and attention.